Okay, awesome, dude. Thanks. Love it. All right, folks, now we're going to take you around Spring Mountain. Rocky's going to give us a dissertation of the turns. Get ready for some high-speed stuff tomorrow.
Alrighty, go ahead and follow me. We make our way across the paddock over to the hot pits. Of course, mental preparation is crucial. You do need to clear your minds of any other thoughts you might have. We need to be thinking 100% solely on the racetrack. And we just taxi across the paddock. Make our way over to the hot pit area where we normally get an all clear call, you know, on our other radio channel, just to let us know that there's nobody else on track, let us know that there's no traffic coming across the track, and those sorts of things. And once we do get that all clear, we make our way out on track. See, it is all clear now, so you can go ahead and follow me. And of course, we're usually stopped here. If it's not clear, we have to wait for another group. Other than that, we can roll out and take a look at the blend line, making sure we're to the right of the blend line going into turn 1. Take a look through your side mirror, make sure nobody's coming down out of turn 10 down the front straight at you. And as you make your way into turn 1, you notice a white cone on the right there. That's your near apex cone of turn 1. We've got those near apexes at turns 1, 2, and 8. We've also got apex cones set up around track. They're the very large orange cones with the green reflectors on them. So those are your true apex turns where you see those apex cones at. Now again, we've got another near apex on the left there. You want to be about 5 feet from those near apex cones. So give yourself just a little bit of room there. It's not a true apex. You're not right next to the track at that point. And there's our apex cone for turn 2. So that's actually where we're going to apex turn 2. Of course, the apex curbing is user-friendly. Entry curbing and exit curbing you want to try and avoid. We also have turn-in cones set up on various turns, ones that are capable. Turn 3 here, you'll see one to the left. That's where your turn-in cone is at. That's where you want to have the car turning in at turn 3. And then that apex cone there that we just passed on the right. Next section of track we're getting to is the chicane. And you'll notice a large cone up here on the left. That's our apex for the inside left there. But that's also the spot we want to start our braking there for the chicane. You'll notice a white cone. Again, we want to avoid that curbing where the white cone is at. That braking for the chicane there, suspension loads up. You want to brake at the dip there. Keep that suspension loaded up when you go down the hill, entering 4. And of course, we just passed that apex cone for turn 4. We make our way up the hill to 5A. We've got a turn-in cone on the left for 5A. And then we've got 2 cones up here for 5A. This is an elongated apex. So it's not a double apex turn. We just don't have a 50-foot cone to put there. So that's our elongated apex for 5A. And then we've got a turn-in and an apex cone again for 5B. Next section of track coming up is going to be the kink. Which, of course, another large cone. On the right, you'll see that large cone. That's the kink. Just need enough steering input to get over to the entry of turn 6. Which, again, we have another turn-in cone for that. And an apex cone on the left. Now that curbing goes from apex curbing to entry curbing, which you want to stay off of. So you move off of it once you clip that apex. Then you bring in your apex for 7, unwind out, and we're onto the back straight. Exiting onto the back straight, of course, treating it. Taking on ramp to freeway. We are, of course, doing freeway speeds even on this first day here. You'll notice very long light braking going into turn 8, which again, turn-in cone on the left. Near apex cone on the right, about 5 feet away from that. Constantly adding steering input to get into that apex for turn 8, which is also your turn-in cone for turn 9. So you're going to start your turn-in at that point. Clip that apex on the left. We've got a turn-in cone on the left, apex on the right for turn 10. And then you'll see down the front straight. Now this is where we entered the track. You can see that blend line. You can see how we're staying to the left of that blend line just in case there is any other traffic. And we do usually carry our brakes in past those near apex cones just for balance. into this next straight here. Doing it very low speed, still trying to stay on the racing line. That is going to help us with our momentum, carrying the momentum through the turns, balancing in. Again, our turning cone on the left there for 3, our apex cone on the right. If you actually pick your eyes up at this point, you can see out to the entry of turn 7, way down track there. That lets you know that you do have your eyes picked up far enough and you are looking far enough down track that you'll be able to react to any of those situations out in front of you, and it'll give you a lot of time to react to those situations as well. Just keep picking those eyes up. Once again, we've got our elongated apex for 5A, and let the car just smoothly carry out to the left. A little bit of brake pressure will help that car turn in for 5B, but you want to be looking for the kink. And that apex cone that you see down here on the right, you can actually see that apex cone to the right side of the apex cone for 5B if you're looking far enough down track, of course. Once again, as we go through 7 onto the back straight, we are going to be exiting this time by, so I'm going to put my right turn signal on. We are going to exit the track. We always do a nice warm-up lap to start with. That's always our first lap of the warm-up. Last lap is always a cool-down lap. And when we're done with our cool-down lap, exactly what we'll be doing is having our turn signals on, letting everybody else, not only in our group, but everybody else watching the track know that we are going to exit the course. And we take the same racing line through turn 8 that we would normally take, except instead of turning in for 9, we're just keeping on the brake pressure and keeping the car slowed down to about 15 to 20 as we enter the paddock area. Now when we get onto the paddock, once again, just be cautious of any pedestrian traffic, construction traffic going on. Now we're going to park the cars around the side of the building where we picked them up from.
That was nice, I appreciate it, thanks.
Yep, you're welcome. Good track intro.